Hey there, Mama. So I have been getting a ton of requests lately to see more behind the scenes of my notebook system. So I decided to do just that. And today's YouTube episode is going to spotlight one of the types of pages that I include in my notebook, and that is my book notes. If you're watching this and you're like, what the heck is a map book? What am I missing? I will share that with you. The map book is your Make a Plan book, and it is a notebook organizational system created by me to kind of simplify and reduce the overwhelm for busy moms. Literally, all you need is a composition notebook and the digital download that you can find linked in the video description that will help you set up your own notebook system in an hour or less and go from overwhelmed to organized in less than an hour, which is pretty exciting. I have so many moms that are absolutely loving this system, and I definitely recommend checking it out. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into today's content. Let's chat about book notes. So I want to preface this with, I absolutely do not take notes on every single book that I read. I am an avid reader. That would be ridiculous and take forever. So I don't. I typically take notes on books that are nonfiction, especially personal growth, personal development books. And I will start reading a book not knowing I'm going to take notes, and then whip out my map book knowing it's got to happen. So if there's a book that has just a lot of things that I want to remember in the future to be able to look back on without necessarily having the book on hand, I will take book notes. So you'll see this is just it's the next blank page in my notebook, and I start off by labeling it with the title, the date that I read it, and the author of the book. I cut it off in the picture, but there are also page numbers up there because this is just a typical page in my notebook. And then, as you can see, I started off by taking notes in the book of just the 9 big impact guidelines that Vander Kam recommends in this book. So I wanted to have those. So I wrote those down, and then you'll see a star with a circle around it, and that is one of the action steps that I want to follow up on from the book. And then at the very bottom, I include a list of action steps. So those are things that I want to do after reading this book. They don't necessarily have like deadlines to them. These would be good things to put into my future list or into a monthly list or to carry over as I'm getting ready for my Q2 notebook. But just to give you an idea of what my notes look like and then what my action steps are. This page is absolutely included in my table of contents. I think that is so important because I know there's going to be a day where I'm like, oh, you know what? I read in that book. Ooh, where are those notes? So I absolutely put this in my table of contents so that I can find it quickly. And I also just want to point out one more thing about sort of the code system that I use, that star with the circle around it. In my map book, whenever I have something I need to follow up on, I do that code. I do the star with the circle. When I flip through my notebook at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, any one of those that are starred and circled, that's just an immediate trigger to me to say, oh, like, record that somewhere, write it down, or put it in your future list, do something with that action step. Don't just leave it there, because the worst thing would be to take all these notes and then never look back at this again. So I want to make sure that this is really a reference page for me. Because this book was really good, I definitely recommend it. I will probably also flag it with a sticky note at the end of the quarter so that I can very quickly and easily find it in the future. So I hope that was helpful to see an actual book notes page. I'm going to be sharing more just kind of like the random pages in my map book to hopefully inspire you with your own map book and to encourage you to sort of make your map book what you need it to be. And I'm curious, take a second to think about how would it be helpful for you to keep book notes in your map book? Would it be helpful? Would it help you, encourage you to follow up on your action steps? Would it keep it front of mind? Would it be better to have it as a Google Doc? I mean, my Google Docs is a wild, wild place. I'm not sure I would ever find these notes there again. And I also typically don't have like a screen out when I'm reading, so that would be challenging for me, but maybe it makes sense for you. Take a few minutes to think about that, think about how this might help you and how you could translate this to your own mapbook system. So if you do not have your mapbook set up, what are you waiting for? Get on it, mama. You can find the link to download your free setup guide below in the video description. Like I said, it takes about 60 minutes to get started. All you need is a pen and a notebook, and you may be going from overwhelmed to organized in less than an hour, which is so exciting, Mom. I'm so excited for you. Again, I hope this episode was helpful. If it was, please give it a big thumbs up so other moms can find it. And definitely feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thanks so much for being here, Mama. Have a great day.